Hi guys, this is Jean with Hogtown Prepper. I know it's been a while, but I wanted to touch base with you guys. I've been working on a new project and I've got a couple of things that I wanted to share with you. So, first of all, the Tactical Man Quilt. I'm pretty sure you haven't heard of that before, but it's an idea that I had. I've always wanted to get into quilting, but I've always been intimidated by the idea. I mean, it can be really involved and intricate, and it can get expensive, you know, quilting fabrics and all this stuff. And I never felt like I had the time to devote to learning it, but then I saw, when I was Googling around, the mention of a rag quilt, and especially a rag quilt using denim scraps. And when I saw it, I was just thrilled. I knew I could handle it. Basically, I keep a lot of clothes that we have that are past donation stage, you know, they're really worn out, and I keep a lot of the denim and khaki and camo kind of fabrics, and this project was perfect for it. Joe's birthday is coming up later, so I made this quilt for him, and that's why I call it the Tactical Man Quilt. I used a lot of the old fabrics, and what I love about this quilt is you work on it one square at a time, so you can totally work on it in stages. That makes it really user-friendly to me, and I'll explain a little bit about, you know, how it goes, and I'll also post a link to a tutorial, but definitely Google denim rag quilts. You know, there's a lot of great information out there. It'll inspire you. But first you choose the size squares that you want to work with, and the larger the squares, the less labor intensive. So I chose 7 inches square, and I made just a cardboard so I could lay it out and cut my fabric and all this stuff. Basically the size also depended on how large the fabric was I was working with. I tried to make it so that I had the least amount of waste. And what you do, here's an example I've got here. You want to cut yourself the front fabric, and then you want to cut a backing fabric. And in this case I had a lot of linen scraps left over in like 3 different colors. So I decided to use linen, and this was a lighter quilt. I didn't want it to be too heavy. I wanted it to sort of be year-round. So I did not put batting in between the layers, but you could certainly add another layer of batting. And what you do is you put the fabric together so that the right sides are out, front and back. And then what you're going to do is you're going to stitch. Lock your stitch in, stitch one corner across, and then you're going to stitch again another line across so that you're locking everything together and it doesn't shift. And basically you will have quilted one square, and you work on it and build it one square at a time. So up here, as you can see, hopefully you can see, the stitching, and then after you have your squares, you sew your squares together. And a rag quilt has one side, the seams are going to be exposed, and they're going to be clipped so that they fray, and you get this really awesome fraying pattern that I think adds so much warmth, and just, I don't know, it's interesting. I like it a lot. And on the back, this is the linen side, it'll look just like a regular quilt. Okay? And I love it because you build it square upon square, and then row upon row. And you can break it down and work on it a little at a time. It goes pretty fast. I did this one in 3 days, working on it a few hours a day. It goes real fast if you don't have any particular pattern on the back that you want. I laid everything out. I'm meticulous like that. I laid it out, got the pattern I wanted, pinned it all together, you know, that sort of thing. But after you've got all the rows sewed together, you just go along the outside, and I used a zigzag stitch, probably about 1 inch in, and then you want to go through and clip all the seams. And for me, this was the hardest part. You want to clip through all the layers, and you want to clip probably every 1/4 of an inch, but you want to clip only to the stitch line, not too close to it, but right up to it. You don't want to go through it, or that'll mess everything up and it'll unravel. And after you've done that, you take it outside, you give it a really good shake, because this thing's going to be a mess. There's so much threads and fuzz and lint coming off of it, but you put it in the washer, And after you wash it, you're going to need to, go in there and clean out your washer real well. And I put it in the dryer, and after about 10 minutes, I stopped everything, took it out, gave it another good shake. I cleaned out the lint screen, and you want to do that every 10 minutes. Just keep an eye on it because so much lint will be coming off of it, but it makes this wonderful fraying, and every time you wash it, it'll fray more and more. And this one, I even added the tactical man quilt pocket, so it's just fun, and it's a durable quilt. It'll hold up well. Joe likes to sprawl out and have PS3 gaming sessions, and this will go great. It's cat approved. He likes it a lot. So that's the tactical man quilt. Definitely, if you've got scraps lying around, great use for them. The other two things I wanted to mention was thrift store finds. I know you guys know about thrift stores. We were in Goodwill and we found this poncho liner for $2.50. I think part of the problem was they didn't really know what it was. It was kind of hanging over where they have like the really odd pillow shams or pieces of curtain or something like that. But anyway, because they didn't know what it was or whatever, we got lucky, got it for $2.50, and I thought that was an awesome deal. There's no tears or anything in it. I just had to untangle or unknot, the end ties. So I know you guys already know about thrift stores, but I don't know if you've ever thought about consignment shops. Consignment shops from the outside can look very girly. In fact, they usually are really, really girly. I know this one we stopped in, Joe was a little bit hesitant because it was all like foo-foo perfume bottles and tea sets and the such all up in the front window. And once you move past that though, in the back, they had a lot of really nice kind of household items and stuff like that. But we found this, brand new, with tags on. And I don't really understand what this whole Guts Grit Gear for Marlboro is, 2003. Doesn't matter. The tag, though, is what interests me. Made in Turkey, 100% wool, perfect shape, like I said, brand new, $17. I mean, that's awesome. When I showed Joe, he was really excited because, he's already told me the whole thing about wool when it's wet still retains, like, I don't know, 80% of its heat or something like that. And I know before when he was looking for wool blankets, it was hard to find 100% wool at kind of a reasonable price. So we were really happy about this. So I want to share that with you guys and just say, if you haven't ever considered a consignment shop, go ahead and check it out. I know it looks very foo-foo and all that, but depending on the shop, there could be some really interesting items in there. So, I just wanted to share this with you guys and say, hopefully we'll be making more videos here in the near future. I think Joe's got a couple of videos in mind, but I look forward to hearing from you, and I hope that you enjoyed this, and we'll be talking to you later. Thanks, bye.